like the sun. We will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come. We will rise like the sun. I will never run. We will fight. Fight till we won. We will bite. We will smite all through the night. We never sleep. Never rest. Put the faith to the test. The self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight, the end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. All we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry. But we will not beat your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We will be ripped apart. You will be burned and battle scarred. We're tired of assault and bigotry. We'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate. Through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander. Infiltration, propaganda. After years there's finally resolution. It's time to start the revolution. I said we're done.
Everybody, welcome back to the Fumble folks with Rapid Riders, our long-form campaign. And let me introduce you to the Rapid Riders, starting as always with first on the list, Bree.
Hi, I'm Bree, and I play Diana, the sun elf, bard of eloquence, and wizard of the Bladesinger. Yeah. This is Diana disguised in her ball outfit. It's not a gown, because lame. Diana does things differently. She's
fuck you,
she's
taxes.
in a pantsuit. No.
Wow.
Hey. I apologise. Taxes looks very, very good. Very good. I haven't said that yet, though.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah, that's it, really.
Cool.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh.
Next is Ben.
Hey, I'm Zeke Bootendiggles, the half gnome, half dwarf, half monk, half warlock. No longer ginger, now looking like a thumb, but also kind of now looking like a very pissed off looking child that's been dragged along to a party that he doesn't want to be at. So he's not wearing a mask because he's stubborn. And hopefully that gets me put somewhere that means that I can sneak around the place.
Hopefully. It's gamble.
Either that or I'm going to piss on the guard's shoes.
It would make a change from pissing your own trousers.
It's true.
Okay.
This cat has an issue with pissing themselves, like.
Piss seems to be a theme.
About it.
Moving swiftly on. Doran.
Hi. I don't piss myself.
Hi, my name's
In-game,
Doran. I don't piss
only
myself.
It's on my
only
resume.
IRL, but in game.
Listen, don't tell people that was a secret, bro. Jeez.
Sorry.
Did we get a minute
shit,
in?
sorry.
I don't know if we got a minute in. I think we did.
Oh, well, I'm Doran. I'm playing a lovable half-giant halite. He's our fighter, barbarian, but also monk. No, That's taxes. I'm a rogue.
But watch this space,
You have a
because
mic as well.
everything taxes does, everybody else does. So, lol.
Hey, taxes
me.
can't be me.
I'm also 8 foot tall and very dumb. Not in real life. I'm dumb in real life.
Just a bit shorter.
Just a bit short. Just a tad bit shorter.
Still a lurch.
Cool. And we have Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm playing Taxes. The human of the group was one of the rogues of the group and now is also a monk of the group. Yeah. She's doing Whale Scribes monk, homebrew content.
Ooh.
And right now she's currently disguised as a dew elf and she's looking hot. That's all she needs to say.
She is.
Looking very
Hotter than usual. Because we can actually see her face.
Picture of divine
has a
grace.
mask.
Actually,
It
no,
has
has a
got a
mask.
mask
Has a
on.
mask.
it's different though. We're seeing the bottom of her face, not the top of her face, that we usually see.
Very true.
You can put them together and be like, oh yeah, okay, that's what she looks like.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Phil.
Hi, I'm a Phil. I am playing Dunstan Dewey Fairfoot. He is part Dew Elf, part Halfling. He is the ranger of the party. He is a swarm keeper ranger, so he has a swarm to help him in tight spots, which is, as you may have guessed, is Burbs, who he can get to help him. Clean up the kitchen or tidy the garden or help murder someone. Just how Mary Poppins would want it. And currently has made a interesting choice in this undercover operation that we're going on by immediately, like pretty much immediately telling someone who he is. Yeah. That's how
Right.
that's how you do undercover missions, folks.
Yeah.
Immediately reveal to someone who you are.
And highlights the dumb one.
Also, I am disguised as someone who thinks that having a mullet is a good idea.
Mullet is a great idea.
Best idea.
And Sam, your dungeon master, I will reintroduce us, as you put it, into a infiltrative mission where you have been invited to a masquerade ball, a Capitanalis masquerade ball, a holiday where the Capitanis, the high-ranking military officials of the Empire, are invited to share their wisdom and knowledge and how they made it this far. A bastardization of the previous holiday, which invited the elders and those who have departed to speak of their knowledge. But this ball is different in that not just a masquerade, but a magical masquerade. All human attendants are wearing a mask to make themselves look like other races in the Empire, lesser races that are not human. And so you fit in perfectly even without a mask, but many of you are wearing them so that you can adjust your height. Some of you are very notable, so have adjusted yourselves in that regard, and have made your way in. You have a mission. You know that one of the attendants here tonight is the Hierophant Imperium, leader of the Church of Osnan and the worship of the Emperor, Alexis Tremanus. And you know that she is going to have information that is going to be useful to you and useful to your benefactor, Reluctantsheep, who is trying to solve some mysterious arcane means by which they are under the control of the Emperor. The mission, as they have set out for you, is to identify who is Alexis Tremanus behind the mask, so that Leluc can get close and use an ability they have to try and infer what kind of magical means are protecting the secrets of the Hierophant. At the same time, you need to figure out what room the Hierophant is staying in, so you can actually go and access these secrets. Once you have those two parts of the key, you can go and try to elicit information, both useful to rebellion and to your benefactor. However, the ball has begun, and you have identified some of our participants, some by relation to your past, some by relation to maybe a few weeks ago when you convinced them that you'd slain 2 full-grown dragons, and they entirely believed you. But they, in turn, have identified one of you as Colleen Farringham, of the Farringhams which Dewey found themselves in service to as an indent, a slave for want of a better word. Indeed, for use of a better word within the Empire. They have met you outside and have reminded you that you still smell like birds and that they miss you. And that is where we rejoin our evening. A winter's ball outside with what looks like a tabaxi woman wearing a yellow mask, a bird-masked individual, and I believe just a random bird perched on a chair, keeping watch, having confirmed that they are relatively alone in this moment. So you're alive.
I am alive. Yeah. Yeah, things have been different in the last how long have we been? Has it been since we left because of the infiltration at the gig?
I think at this point it's been about 2 months.
Okay, all right, well, huge amount of time. Fair enough. Yeah, a lot's happened. In that time. How are you?
I am well, I suppose. I thought my best friend had died for 2 months. The news that clarioned around Benalicia was that a raid had rooted out the rats of some kind of rebellion underneath the city, and that I never heard from you. So I assumed that you had been found and killed under the... And then, perhaps a little less than a month ago, rebellion rained from the sky, and I saw the birds. There's... Hope is a difficult thing to keep alive, because you're never sure if you're meant to.
It's the difficulty in that is the entire reason we did it. Is because there's not a lot of it to go around. So it's part of the whole idea to make sure that people knew that it's not all awful for us. I'm sorry that you had to think that I was gone. But there was not really a safe way to get back into Benalicia.
See.
And unfortunately, they have some important people to us, and they've been killing. And if I thought about trying to get some contact to you every day, but I also every day thought of what would happen if I got made. They from an important house, but I imagine they probably knew if they knew that I was the one that worked in your gardens. There's always the risk that could come back on you. So that's why I didn't get in contact. I'm sorry about that. But I'd rather you think me dead than risk you becoming dead.
She takes a seat of these stone chairs that are here, dragging it across the ground. So a sort of gravel ground here, sort of makes loads of noise as she scrapes it along the floor. I have benefited from a boon of my birth since the day I could conceive of it. And I am aware of that, and you have made me aware of that. And I would see it all turn to ash if I knew that it could actually mean I would be alive. And you being gone felt like I had only ash left. Does that make sense? You are the only person who's spoken to me as though I am not some future scion to bear responsibilities or some next chapter in a storied history that I have no intention of playing. You are the only person who's spoken to me like a person, and you were dead. And you said that you wanted to send me messages and you worried about putting me in danger, and I understand that. But you need to understand me. I worry that what you are doing, I worry about what you are doing. I think is the safest way to say. Running away from the Empire, how you have ended up here, I don't know. I have heard of a group. I have heard of a group called the Rapid Riders. I had assumed that because your birds flew in the air that you might know about them. Did they approach you?
They're a sick band.
So you know of them?
Yeah.
I worry they will only lead to ruin. But I do believe they are causing quite a stir.
I think it's long overdue time for things to be stirred up. One thing that you should know about me is that I definitely don't ever like violence. I never like people's lives being in danger. But nothing's happening. I was one of the luckiest indents in Benalicia. I still went to sleep in a drained canal. Things have to change. You know that as well as I do. Otherwise, if things stay the same, you'll just be literally forced to do whatever Dad wants you to do. Meaning people like you that are actually the people that should be running this goddamn country are just as trapped as we are. Albeit with cooler clothes and better hair. This is a disguise. I would never. I just do an 80s throwback of the mullet.
She does laugh at that.
So I'm sorry you've had to be on your own through the many disapprovals of your parents. But I mean, that is to say that I hope you are still meaning they disapprove of your choices and actions.
I take great strides and painful efforts to ensure that my father does not approve of my actions.
God, I'm so proud of you.
I also am not a fan of violence, but we live in violent times. I am not a fan of the citizens of Benalicia being raided in the dark and killed for just wishing to make music. But I'm aware that it was not just music being made. I don't think I could help you hurt people. But I don't think I could help.
That of you.
I don't want to help people hurt you. So, this next question, you may not be able to tell me the answer to, and that's okay. What are you doing here?
Nothing that's going to intentionally lead to violence from our side. If I get made, I know you want to help me, but don't put yourself in that danger. If things that we want to do fail, it will be down to people like you to try and make that difference.
So you don't intend violence towards anybody here?
No, we're not. We're not that. We're not that kind of. It's not why we're here. We are just being nosy.
A lot of bad people here, but there are a lot of good people here as well. Maybe not good in the way that makes a difference to you, but people just trying to live their lives, certainly.
We got no intention of anything like that happening. I'll stick my nose in, open my ears, and get out.
She takes a deep swallow, seems to be trying to say something, but not quite being able to get it past her lips.
Oh God, fucking right. Insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Of anything that I can glean from that. Now, do elves have an ability which is if you have eye contact with the person, you get advantage, but they got a mask on, so
she has a mask on and she is looking away from you, definitely.
Okay, yeah, in that case.
You get the very fervent impression that she cannot look you in the eyes right now.
That is
Is it the mullet?
average roll. It's the mullet. I can't believe I can be seen with this guy. That is 16.
You see, there's a very deep conversation she wants to have. You get the impression there's something that has been welling up for a while, but it's one of those things that needs the right words or needs the right place, and she's just not sure that this is the moment, because she is looking away from you. She is trying to form the words on her lips, and you see that, but nothing is coming out. And you watch as those words stop. She adjusts her body language and goes, "Can I help? Can I help this? Can I help you?" That is clearly not what she was holding back. That is clearly
Yeah.
something that she is diverting with.
Or I'll feel like we'll get a chance to talk about that. I came back from the dead. We'll have another chance to talk. We are keen to know just who's here. Like, we know that there are some important people here, but oh no. No.
Because it's an emotional moment. At least it didn't
I'm
go
keen
in
to know who.
really
I'm keen to know
emotional.
who's here, but who's not here is the DM. Awkward.
Who is here?
Simon DM, he's returning.
I'm here, Phil. I'm the DM.
Ahem.
I hate it so much. Guys, I have a now well-established thing. Even if I fix it, I feel like I have to keep it on just because.
Just
Just every so often, just
Every now and then, just hang up.
delete, yeah.
Yeah. You said you need to know who's here.
We're on a kind of a who's who. No, he says I'm here on a who's here. I've been trying to keep that to the line. Dewey is doing his best to only ever say I,
yeah.
rather than we. No, it's Dewey. He could say we because he could mean his birds, so that's fine. His other crack undercover agents.
Ooh.
You watch as she buries herself in answering to this, just fully like, okay. You have Kaptani, obviously, Alva Panat. He has 6 guests, I believe. A couple of them are family, some are just guests from Belmer, other noble houses he wishes to impress. Although, obviously, you have Varial Luteska here as well, invited as their own individual. They are from Belmer as well, one of those noble houses. I believe they go way back, best friends, which is why they got their own special invitation. The whole purpose of the evening, the fact that a Kaptani is hosting this with clear magic, and she waves at her mask. From what I understand, a war mage saved the life of Captain Panat during the war. Kaptani Panat, sorry. I believe it was an individual called Tarko Go, who
is probably here as well.
Is here as well, definitely. They're on the guest list. They essentially the whole reason that the Penitus are able to flaunt their magic in such a way and sort of open the gates of look, magic can be a good thing is because Alvorpanat is giving them this boon of saying, here's my Captain Alice Day, and you can make magic a huge part of it. But at the same time, as this is an event where many of the Penitus Conscriptus are here, Alexis Tremanus is here as well to represent the interests of the church. From what I understand, yeah, fucking hell. From what I understand, the Penitus is almost like a subsection of the church. The war mages can't exist without the church. They are beholden to the church. So anything they do has to be for Osnan. Anything they have to do has to be through the worship and dedication to Osnan. And if they take one step out of line and show, they are researching things that aren't sanctioned or doing things that aren't for the glory of the Empire, for the worship of the Empire, for the benefit of the Empire, they are all fucked. So that is why Alexis is here, to make sure that there is nothing shady going on with magic. At the same time, because this is such a huge advancement in the War Mages, the conscripts' agenda, Iasdia Viprin is here. She is the leader of the Penitors, the leader of these conscripted war mages. She is here to make sure things do not go overboard, that magic does not get abused here. Baby steps is the impression that everybody gets. Taco Go, I've mentioned, is here. A couple of guests with him, but I'm not sure who they are. Another Imperial conscript, Ateo Furo. Again, I don't know very much about him in particular, but he is here. I heard him on the announcement. Barial Uteska I mentioned as a close friend of Alvo Pinat. My father, Jared Faringham. There seems to be a lot of interest in Fenrion with this. I'm not entirely sure why, because it's not just my father. Graham Humra is a relatively minor noble of Colovia, landed in Colovia, but has business interests out here. Maybe it's the stir that you lot have made has made the fact that people who are interested in Fenrion should be in one place to discuss this. There's obviously also Alice Trant in the place of her husband, who is the Reeve of Harling's Rest, and Pieter Itebi is also here. Obviously, his wife is Marine Itebi, the Reeve of Benalicia, and by a wider extent, Fenrion on the whole. The only other person that was announced as being here is a little bit of an unknown. Halibut Tyree is... Well, Tyree is a noble house, but they're not... They have noble... If I'm honest, I don't know too much about them. I know they have some kind of wealth in diamond mining. They are Colovia, but it's never been... They have a house in Vinin, but they're not landed. They're just gentry, if that makes sense.
Have you seen them? Like, do you know who they are?
Fucking rolling shit hot here. I haven't seen them, but there's only one individual here wearing a mask laden with diamonds.
Right. Yeah.
And
okay.
I'm going to guess that that's Halibut.
That would make sense. Do you know what mask?
Last I saw them, and I'm just going to quickly check here.
Who's the bloody name of the big boss we're looking for?
Alexis?
Yes, Tremanus. Yeah.
Tremanus?
Do you know what mask Tremanus is wearing?
I don't know what mask Tremanus is wearing, but I know which room she's staying in. Well, I don't know for sure, but I know she's one adjacent to ours, like directly adjacent. Because I heard her briefly talking through the walls. She points to the immediate left of the map and says there are 4 rooms here. I'm in the top left. So she's either top right or bottom left. She has some retainers. I don't think they're sleeping in the same room as she. I think only she is staying down here. I think the others are making their own arrangements. But my father and mother are in our room, and I'm on a well-appointed sofa.
Wow. Get you a bed. That's I'm actually surprised.
I have not been deserving of a bed, as my father would put it. If I wish to act like an animal, I will be treated as such.
like a wildcat, no less.
And she displays herself. I intended to continue acting like an animal. Not that I think it was just the easiest way to make the point.
Sure, that's driving him furious. Wonderful.
I'd rather hope so.
Wonderful.
I think that's
Thank
the information
thank
I
you.
have for you at the moment.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. That is a lot of the nosiness that I was interested in. What else can I do for you? I mean, I don't think there's much I can. It's not much I can do. I don't think. But
stay in touch if you can. Just let me know that the only person who ever saw me as a person is still alive. And that if I'm going to act like an animal, I have someone who understands me.
so you got left out of that for a few months. I move around. I move around a lot. But
Yes, you've been busy.
But so long as I'm only a day away from these guys, and I'll just point at the bird that is just idly pecking at little bits on the table. Then I might be able to get something to you, just to let you know that they haven't got me yet.
Difficult behind the mask, but you see the ears just slightly prick up. Well, sir, she tries to figure out. Can you remind me what race you were meant to be displaying?
I can't remember. I feel like I said it.
I think you were just
I
a
said last
halfling.
week, but I can't remember. Was it just? It can be just a halfling. Yeah, that's
Was it a
I know
I
you-
think it was Dew Elf.
I think it was a full Dew Elf because
Yeah,
full
which
Dew Elf,
looked
yeah, okay.
I know it was
incredibly
one of your
different.
races. I know
Yeah,
it was one of
which
your
looked
races
incredibly
before.
different to what you actually
so
are.
she
yeah.
will take a second. Well, Sir Dew Elf, and goes into a very poncy, over-exaggerated bow.
It's wonderful to meet you, Miss Cat.
Please, they call themselves Tabaxi. And she saunters past and just puts a hand, not puts a hand on your shoulder so much as traces her hand along your shoulder.
And I'll just as she walks off, I'll be like, I miss you too.
And she makes her way back inside.
Emotions and dragons.
Dragon.
Oh.
No.
That was so funny.
Everybody else. During this time, Zeke, I believe you were doing something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to click the mute button, and every time I was missing.
Fair enough.
Yes, so I am going to try and wander along to my very fabulous-looking friend.
Mm-hmm.
And because I look like her younger brother,
You do?
potentially, it doesn't look too weird for me as a little child to be wandering up. And I'm just gonna... Can I grab you, Taxes, somewhere that isn't the immediate middle of the ballroom, please?
Wander to a corner away from people.
Yeah, cool. Like just, I don't know, is that a buffet table?
Is there a buffet table?
There's no buffet table. There are people constantly walking around with hors d'oeuvres.
You can stand next to a butler, I guess.
Where looks quietest in this room?
In this room, bottom left corner, if you convince this guy to fuck off.
Oh, fucking just... people. I hate people.
Do you want to be annoying?
Oh, I'm always annoying.
Go have fun.
Okay. Cool, now I gotta go convince Jared Farringham that he needs to fucking leave. Great.
Can I? I'm there. Can I? He was like talking to me, I think. Can I just sort of engage him in conversation?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really want to do that. I will though.
Yeah. Jared and this other strange individual here, who's just marked as a random noble token, would sort of join this group that is forming here. It's like, oh yes. Well, honestly, it's not been as bad as they all say in the Heartland. I assure you, we have a small problem with those who pose themselves as rebels, but I assure, we have marinated Tabby in the full might of the Empire. It's hardly going to be an issue now, is it? And the other lord says, yes, well, yes. Well, I heard something rather interesting, amusing, if you will. But, you know, how could it be that rebels form right underneath the nose of the Empire? Rather convenient, don't you think? Rather convenient all too much.
You know, I think last time he asked, like, where his daughter went, and I was like, I think she went outside. So, I mean, I'm, like, in this conversation. Can I be in it? I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah,
I am now.
definitely.
I'm in it. I'm there. I can't remember what you just said.
He was saying that it seemed rather convenient and seemed to be goading people to ask him why to.
Oh, I'm sure you don't know why.
Well, little birds talk. Okay, so you didn't hear this from me. But
Of course.
one must ponder with the royal family as they are, and dear, strong, fortuitous Balin Osnan in charge of Fenrion. One hears that Elizabeth Osnan is none too happy that she is left without a kingdom to rule, if that makes sense, and certainly has interests in the northern border. Now, if someone were to come along and embarrass our Lord's son, Balin, well, wouldn't that open an opportunity for Elizabeth to poach Fenrion for herself? I say, it is not my own rumor I create you here. Many people think Elizabeth is stirring things, making her... he seems to be struggling for an appropriate virtuous word. Magnificent younger brother look slightly less virtuous and grandiose in the eyes of her father, so that she may claim Fenrion for her own. But these are what little birds tell me.
You have a lot of little birds, I see.
It pays to be well connected in this world.
Of course it does. How fantastic. What fantastic rumors you didn't create.
Well,
Wink.
your outfit, by the way, I must compliment the sun elf look, the golden radiance. It
Thank
positively
you.
beams the old world and the older world religions. I suppose it's not too much on the nose there. I do apologize if I'm too much.
Don't they have the most beautiful skin and Just the radiance of the sun. Oh,
Yes, so
beautiful.
Luna's chosen.
Of course, is that what it is? Yes, I think so.
Oh yes, I know these things. My little
Oh,
birds
you
tell
are so smart. So smart.
me. Well.
Oh, these masks are fantastic. I'm loving this.
Jared is just looking on in like a, can I leave this conversation politely to go and find my daughter, or do I have to stay here situation?
With that, I'm gonna, as I'm going past taxes, like, do you see the big cat? She was making out with that guy.
Make a deception check with advantage, because he's already looking for an excuse.
19.
19. What's it?
Oh dear. Oh dear. The cat isn't that
I
you know.
couldn't possibly know who that is, masks and all. But
Yeah.
he like through the mask,
Isn't
you
that-
see his eyes throw you a look of trying to intimidate you, and like
Shut the fuck up.
he's very clearly saying, you have a choice right now to make an enemy of me, or you have a choice to make a friend, or at least not piss me off in the situation, and it's up to you.
How? Decisions. Oh no. Whatever do I do?
Eyes are
Oh
looking
no,
towards
I
you as
must have been mistaken. But I did see them go outside, if that is of any use to you.
he looks towards the assembled and goes, realizes he's starting to make a scene as well, and goes, a strange individual. I was confronting her on her choice of attire as well. It's rather unbecoming for choosing a monstrous race, but
I know, very odd. Very odd.
well, the youth of today.
Why were they using so much tongue?
That's hanging.
I mean, a back look towards you. Well, young man, that is something that is
no,
a
don't
strange thing, adults. But you are not wearing. You're not wearing a mask.
Put it down somewhere. I can't remember.
Well, let us go and find it together. Let me help you go and find your mask, little man. How about that?
Sure.
Let's go together, and Jared will take you, grips on the shoulder, and it is an iron grip.
That's fine. I literally won't even budge. Just.
You are very lucky that you are the same height as your disguise in this moment as we take you.
Which is why I chose it.
Yeah, to take you and begin walking you. I'm going to move your characters together. Begin walking you out of this door and out of the polite company.
So what does it mean when they're using so many hands?
Um,
And I'm just gonna shoot a glance back at you two, just like I'm getting rid of one of the key people here. Like
we're going to come back to this scene in a moment as you're walked into this corridor. But in the meantime, there's just the very aloof, thinks he knows everything Lord here, who's like, oh, this has a little intrigue over there. These masquerades are oh so exciting. I do think I've managed to pick 2 people for who they are, but so far,
really?
that's it.
It's such
Early
a good guessing game,
days,
isn't
early
it?
days. You,
No.
I assure you, are still a mystery to me.
Oh, really? That's so good to hear. And you? A mystery to me.
Well, that is the game, is it not?
It is. I do enjoy the game. Could you give a little hint?
Make a
do
persuasion
like
check. You're stroking this man's ego to try and get him to give up somebody else.
Damn right. Stroking stuff. Oh no. Was it?
Persuasion.
20.
20. He says,
The minimum I can. So
Well.
yes, 20.
I thought your minimum was 19.
It is, but I got an 11. This is the minimum I can
Yeah.
roll.
So you,
Yeah.
you rolled good.
It is. I rolled more than a 10. This is the highest I've rolled.
You did.
Oh.
You know expertly how to do this, and even you, but it was a little bit better than normal.
Oh,
Um,
less, just slightly less. More than painfully average, I suppose. Yeah. Cool.
well, I don't think it's much of a secret that the one in the bone white mask is the son of our esteemed host. They hardly make a secret of it. Frankly,
I know.
I
Clocked
think
him
they should slow down a
straight
little
away.
bit. This is no new information to you. This is Boris Burnett.
Yeah.
But keep this to yourself. But I have heard whispers and seen things that seem to confirm that one in the motley attire, the one that looks like a jester, was seen here a few nights ago. Now, whether that makes him a member of the Farringham family who have arrived early, or if that makes him a member of the Tremanis clout, well, that would be the mystery to unsolve the evening, but I assure you, I will figure this out.
Interesting. Of course, if I know of any, I will be sure to let you know. Or not! Such a great game!
Is it not?
Oh, so good. Oh, well. What happens now? I suppose you have to go and find out. We can find out some more, don't we?
Well, it is not the only spirit of the evening. There shall be parlour games, and obviously there's drinking and dance. Oh, I do hope you dance later.
Oh, of course, of course. I will be here to dance with you, of course.
And let us not forget the magic of the evening itself. Why, I have never seen the like of it in my lifetime, nor do I believe there are many here who have not fought on the front lines. But between you and me, maybe I'm not such a disdainer of magic after all as the church would have me be. Not if they can do these kind of things.
I see. That is ever so cryptic.
Anyway, I must continue forth on my quest. Have a good evening, Bonbon. And they continue to leave away, making a noted point to walk near the jester-looking individual, the motley individual that they pegged as a member of Alexis's, or Alexis's or the Farringhams, although you know two of the Farringhams already. Two of the three.
What mask was he wearing?
He was wearing a mask that was this sort of charcoal grey with sort of splits along it, so it looked like a split charcoal. And he was disguised as a half moon elf, half Goliath.
I see. Cool. Great. He's gone. That's good. Because that was...
Yeah. You now have a quiet corner to yourselves on this side of her.
Quite a corner, but no secret.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Zika wanted, but we're here now. Oh, yes. What was he saying? Hang on, let me write this down. Secret magic user potentially. Cool. He was very flamboyant.
We've all been very flamboyant.
Yeah. Yeah. I will sort of like, as you do in parties, just wander, wander over. Hello. How you doing?
Bad.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? Figured anything out yet?
No. Speaking of that, can I do an insight to see if any hints of like how people hold themselves in this room?
Nice.
If like people are tending towards certain groups or acting like more respectful to other people around and stuff like that, if people near.
I would say make a. This is an insight check. The DC is very high because of the vagueness of the comment of like, are groups sticking together? Are people like buzzing back to people? You're having to watch an entire room full of people to try and see patterns of how people are acting towards each other.
21.
21. You
How
don't get a
very
clear,
confident.
oh, these people are together, these people are together. You do get a few things. You notice that a lot of time seems to be spent between two individuals discussing with each other. You see two individuals on this middle table here seem to be talking a great deal to each other and don't seem to be taking particular breaks in their speaking other than to make pleasantries with other people. Of those two, you see that one is what appears to be a tiefling man with a bright red mask. The other one appears to be an orc woman with a bright green mask. And they are sitting with each other majority of the time. And I am going to replace their models quickly.
Oh. Oh.
Pointing out.
Well, she
Wait,
has an
Colleen.
orange mask in that for some reason. But green. Green is her mask. I do apologize.
Sort of nod in their direction for Diana to say, but how is everyone here? They seem very interested in each other.
Maybe
Like,
they
they're
want to
not-
fuck. Hey, I have to bring it down somehow, alright? No. Yeah. Why do you reckon that is? What?
I just look disappointed.
I can't tell, you got a
Sense.
mask on.
Hold on.
Ha! I
You
can
can
see it.
tell.
I can feel it though. Like I know the feel of the disappointment.
Used to it at this point.
Yeah, even if like you're not even anywhere in like, not even in the country, I know that you're disappointed. Yeah, yeah. Do they look particularly heated, or are they? I don't know.
Unbothered.
Yeah, are they?
Back
Yeah,
of that insight check, I will say that they seem to be exchanging pleasantries, but not in a sort of like, oh, we're best friends forever kind of way. Just a
So
sort
they're
of,
not friendly.
this is
They're
important
like
and we are being amicable, purposefully amicable towards each other. Kind of.
interesting.
Not in a, we hate each other and we have to be nice, just in a, this is going well, we are having a conversation where things are going well, but we are both agreeing things are going well at the same time, and
Okay.
lots of nodding and affirmation of the other kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do anything about that?
Mm.
What can we do?
I don't know. We could be nearby.
We could. Are there a lot of people dancing right now? Is it going to be weird if we start dancing?
Currently, there is a sort of hazy backing music, but you do know that charcoal-faced individual mentioned that there would be dancing at some point.
Yeah, I'll be dancing later. We want to stand out by dancing in the middle of the thing. What are the vibes at the moment?
The vibes at the moment are anticipation and also getting to have a good look at everybody's costume.
Okay. How about we go around the room and do that guy was doing and like talking to everybody. Do we want to like pretend that we know each other and we're together, or do we want to like go separately? What is happening?
So logic would dictate we go separately,
Mm.
but we also suck when we're on our own.
We do suck when we're separated.
The unit.
We are a unit. Yeah. Okay.
Together?
Together? Are we? That'd be too obvious. Ah. No, maybe we found out that we're friends and whatever. Okay, let's just go to Kevin. Don't think about it. Oh, because you got the mask on. Does it work as disguise self? Which means you can't be touched.
Unless you have the same general height, if you're touched, and you're trying to appear much bigger or a bit smaller, then it's obvious. But if you are an elf of the same rough height as a human, then there's no issue.
Alright.
Been the same height.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's work our way around and just chit chat, I guess. Chit chat.
Cool.
About who's who.
Yeah.
Mingle.
Mingle. Are you going? You're going that way. I was gonna go this way, so they're just not.
Okay, let's go this way.
Because there's less people to chit chat to. Maybe how about yeah, no, okay, what I'm gonna do, I wanna go like in this direction. I can't even. Right, I wanna go in this direction and be like, oh hello, hi, and then go
Cool. So that's the path you're sort of taking.
That's the path, yeah.
Saying hello to everyone. If you go that way, I'm going to say this individual here, you take a particular notice of their mask because it looks very similar to yours. A sun elf woman with a bright golden mask. You see this individual stands out to you definitely.
Okay.
But rather than your sort of colorations of sort of muted blues, there's a very brilliant blue, almost a teal, and a mix of royal blues in there as well.
So what you're saying is that they've completely copied what I'm wearing. Oh my god.
There's a little bit of that, like, okay.
I feel like
go home.
One of us needs to go home and change.
I feel like I feel like we get to the corner and we're just like just like, is this okay? Is this not okay?
Cool. I just saw Doran move, and we haven't spoken to Doran the entire game yet.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what we're doing.
Doran, you sort of move around the court room there. I'm going to say, as you're moving through, a couple of people take note there because you've moved right past them. This one standing by the table here, sort of looking out, a champagne glass in their hand. They stand out because their mask, again, is this sort of very light blue, verging on teal, because it's the theme of this campaign. But is different because it is encrusted with diamonds. It is covered in diamonds and is very audacious in this room here.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy there.
Okay.
As you sort of brush past those people, it's up to you if you'd like to keep going. Let me know what you're doing, because obviously you are very much... A lot of people are looking up towards you, and you hear your comments like, oh, they can't be that tall. And...
Every time I hear that comment, I just look and wink and keep walking.
You've made yourself shorter. And they're still making the comment.
While I'm walking, can I get a vibe of any like matching sets of people, like visually wise?
This would be a investigation or insight to intuit people who are intentionally staying together or people who have coordinated their outfits. So investigation is like coordination. Insight is people who are trying to stay around each other because they both know who the other person is and are just orbiting the other.
I'm bad at both, so I'll do investigation because I don't think people have seen matching people yet. That's a 4.
4. Nobody here has any idea who anybody else is.
Fair point.
They are on the same footing of learning who people are as you are. Nobody, like, even people who arrive together, you imagine they must have disguised their mask because nobody is hanging around each other.
People are taking this seriously. Weird. I say to myself as I leave the room.
Yeah.
Who's this guy in the doorway? Who's this guy?
I'll say as you buzz by them, you sort of have to, they not quite body check, but they're like, whoa, okay, big guy. And you see an individual that has, where are they? Where are you, buddy? You see a moon elf man with a stark white mask verging on silver, like white gold almost.
Ooh. Hello.
Hello yourself. You enjoying the festivities?
I'm just gonna sort of rotate around them so I'm not blocking the doorway.
They just like continue to watch around as they like spiral on their feet.
But I'm also looking at his costume like, very nice.
Well, thank you. Obviously, it is an illusion, but are we not all
I
hearing
mean,
illusions?
illusions, but also it's his taste of style.
Well,
How
thank
you
you.
used your colours.
I'm not quite used to how this magic works, but my advisors assure me that this is normal. I did not, if you ask me, I did not fully trust that Alvor would be able to pull this off, but, well, the old man's got it yet, if you ask me. This is one of his best shindigs yet.
Oh. I was about to ask you nice place, because I was going to tell you nice place, because this
Oh,
is
myself? No, I am not. Our esteemed host, no. I know him well, but,
Yeah.
well, yes, I do. We've been friends since we were young.
Are you staying here?
Tonight I am, yes. I have not had a full room dedicated to me. I have holdings not too far away from this place that are more than comfortable. But I am not. He lifts his champagne glass. I am not planning to make it. I'm not planning to be able to walk. Let's put it like that.
Neither. We tap champagne glasses.
Yeah, the tap champagne glasses. Yeah, he's like, oh, strong arms. You a warrior yourself?
I flash my illusionary rapier. Quite.
Yes. Never wanting to be too far away. Myself.
I mean, it's not. I just kind of pass my hand through it.
Well, yes.
We're not allowed weapons.
He passes hands over the sort of knife points of his ears.
We're not allowed weapons. I tried.
It's
very, not it's very honest.
It feels odd to be without one, doesn't it? It feels just not wrong so much as disarming. Well, literally disarming.
It's like an extension of yourself. You kind of want it near you at all times.
Well, exactly. It's something I've always grown up around, so not something I want to be without, if that makes sense.
Same. I can relate to that.
Yes, well.
But if you do see your friend who owns this lovely boat, I have a question about his decor style in the other room. There are 17 carpets in that one room. I was very curious where he got all that.
You surely have not been to too many of these, I gather, a warrior of yourself.
Well, not to such extent.
No. Well, extravagance is the nom de guerre. It is the thing to be. It is always worth putting in the extra effort to be conceived as that little bit more wealthy than your peers.
Seems like a fun challenge. Not my kind. But
no. Who are yourself with, if I may be so bold?
Who am I with?
Or are you indeed one of the named guests?
I'm not going to say if I'm named or not. But I'm with a party.
Well, I assumed you were with a party, so you would not be here. Well, stick around. Paul, I mean, I shall not miss you in the crowd. I'll be honest, it's very difficult. I do not want to get in a long conversation with a mage, but you are a warrior, and that's something I can connect with, so do stay around.
Yes, maybe we can test our metal together one day.
Well, if we ever figure out who he ever is, of course.
I mean, any hints?
I believe I've given you some in my connection to our dear host. As the time landed, beyond that, I would just say that it is very warm in the north this time of year,
Oh.
even for winter. Not too far north, mind you. Not one of those degenerate north kingdoms.
When he says that, is he referring to the Dwarven kingdoms?
He's referring to anything north of the Ethereal Rapids.
Oh, right.
You know for a fact that they are as modern, if not more modern, in many aspects, but it would not do to say that in polite conversation. The Empire are the best in everything, and therefore anything north of the Rapids is the degenerate northern kingdoms. Still believing in the old gods, wallowing around in it.
I would have to agree. It is quite warm, even this time of year.
Oh, you're from the north yourself.
Maybe it's a champagne glass.
He
That's like
raises the
a
Yep, he does it himself and says, enjoy
Maybe
the
we do know each
festivities.
other.
Maybe we do. Wouldn't that be strange if we knew each other all along? Well, I can't say I recognize your voice. He's going to try and make a history check here to try and recognize your accent, unless you're disguising it.
Halai is not good with voices.
I can't quite place it. Interesting. I'll hold you to that. Magic. Is it not?
I assume. I am trying.
You're trying. I see. Very well.
Adds a bit more to the mystery if we do know each other. Well, if it hides our voices, so yeah.
Yes, very well. I'm going to go and see if I can find my dear host. Good evening. I do believe the dancing will be starting fairly soon. Perhaps I'll see you on the floor.
Hope so.
And they make their way away from you.
As we were having that conversation, this person next to me, were they
Yes.
reacting at all?
There's very much of like a hanger on, just sort of looking at the conversation. As you make eye contact with them, you're like, oh, hi. Yeah, I didn't want to butt in. You're not going to talk. Okay, I'm just a bit quiet. I just sort of.
Junior company?
I don't know if it's. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not very used to the whole noble affair. You two seem like you a bit more used to this kind of thing.
A little bit more, but not to this extent.
How are you liking the magic?
Pretty good.
Sorry, is that wrong? Magic is
it's a bit
awful.
controversial.
I
fought against it myself back in the day.
Oh no. Well, it doesn't have to be magic and lots and obviously I'm very disguised, but
this aspect of it is fine. In modicum.
Modicum of magic. Well, let that be the phrase for the evening. A modicum of magic will do.
But I like your outfit. What is they wearing?
They are wearing an outfit of a half dwarf, half puka.
Puka. Ooh,
that's
a bit controversial, isn't it?
Bright green hair. Puka are not considered a monstrous race, I believe, so much as not even on the radar particularly.
Yeah, it's a grey area.
Yeah, it's like, are Puka even considered a race unto themselves? They're that rare kind of thing. Oh yes. Well, I'll be honest. I wanted to go as a Puka, but I didn't know what most people would think it was. Sorry, you might not know what a Puka. They're fey beings of a kind. But people know what a dwarf is, so I thought I'd give them that.
Modicum.
Yeah, a modicum of an idea of.
I mean, I saw a cat earlier. Or tabaxi, she said, I think.
Yes, yeah, that is the correct term, a tabaxi.
She told me.
Oh, well. Yeah, quite a stir there. I mean, I was trying not to create a stir of this, but I think I might have misstepped, but I can't reverse the magic of this now. It's for the evening.
You seem quite learned yourself?
Oh, well, yes, I suppose you have to be if you're in the company of... if you are going to be associating in these kind of events. He realizes he's made a mistake, nearly given away. He realizes he's not, like, you realize in that moment, he's not one of the named guests. He's probably one of the, like, coterie association of one of the named guests and probably one of the mages, since he's not used to being nobility. He is used to magic.
I was about to ask him.
Yeah.
As such, yeah. But you seem quite eager about magic being, maybe not loosened, but used, I guess. Are you a mage yourself? I raised an eyebrow because you can actually see my eyebrow because my weird mask.
I suppose this
No,
is the...
no judgment.
No, I suppose this is the kind of environment where one can talk about that. Yes,
I mean, I don't know you, so it's probably the best environment.
Well, I happen to be I am practitioner of the arcane arts, and my talents specifically focus on the use of those arcane arts into technological devices, into things that control magic through the use of runes, through the use of mechanical means. Honestly, we're relatively new, especially since we've been recently requisitioned by the Empire from the East. But certainly a lot of knowledge there that we've acquired in a relatively short amount of time.
Yes, the dwarves are in our runes, yes?
Well, runes integrated into different kinds of... I won't go into too much detail. Cogs, wheels, things that were... it tends to be considered a more stable form of magic. So we tend to get allowed a little bit more. Although many members of Appetitus are, or certainly the higher ranking members, are purely arcane or natural druids, are less accustomed to the way that we think. I certainly am one of the... we refer to artificers, certainly one of the more practiced artificers.
Artificers, yes. I've heard of that, yeah.
Yes, yeah. For example, Splitlick is an artificer. And indeed, the human that in Bedlam and Benlissia, the one job that started us all, it was an artificer that you took out on
He
that
says
barge.
he's on fire, if I remember correctly.
You did a whole lot. We face similar prejudices, but we are not as looked down upon. I think it's because of the stark difference in our craft to those who might have incurred the initial wrath of the Emperor all those years ago. It doesn't look the same, it doesn't feel the same, so the people are a lot more willing to accept that it's different.
It's more, less magic being the more prominent thing, it's more technological advancement with magic helping out.
Yeah, people can relate it to a tool they use, so they don't associate it to a flick of a wrist and a magic wand so much as, well, I can swing a hammer, so I can see how that works. It's not that simple.
Right, yeah, I assume. Thank you for indulging.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to go and indulge a little bit more myself. There's plenty of champagne, and this is frankly the nicest thing I've ever tasted. So,
well, since you're a mage, you must be part of Alexis's party.
Alexis Tremannis? No. Alexis is a high orphan Imperium. She would not.
Sorry, no. Isn't she a priestess?
She is. She is the high priestess of the clergy of Osnan. She does not.
Isn't she meant to be keeping you guys in check?
Yes. It's like a moment where he realised that was like the most egregious thing he could have said. Any doubt was, yes, she is. She's in charge. She doesn't like us. So
You seem
she
quite
wouldn't.
charming.
I
mean, I don't know about the magic thing, but you as a person.
Well, thank you. She is not the biggest fan of magic in any form that is not divine, so she tends to associate. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. She tends to associate herself with only those kind of individuals who wield divine magic. We're always on tenterhooks around her, let's put it like that. We are aware that we are here at her mercy. It might be one day when the Emperor says, even mages who say they are good are bad, and so...
Yes.
Well, we all know what happens to them. Well, that or they trail off again. That's again, something they're not supposed to say.
Well, even though I fought against egregious uses of magic, I support you. I look around before I say that.
Yeah. Oh.
You seem quite young, so it's your job to make sure magic gets back in the system, and slowly is the key, I think.
I think that is, definitely the key. Definitely.
I'm very wary about magic myself.
Well,
it does. I'll admit this as a big man myself. It scares me. It does scare me.
If I may peg you then as one of Captain Panat's personal invites, then, if you understand that magic is important in keeping our troops alive, and sound like a fighting man yourself. I will make no further inferences or guesses, and I will leave you for the evening.
See you on the dance floor.
See you on the dance floor yourself, man. And they wander away to go and get food and drink and not be part of this conversation.
He's got some killer dance moves, this guy.
I'm going to cut quickly.
Doing the Warforge.
Yeah.
The what? Wolf.
I'm going to cut quickly to Zeke and Jared Farringham in the hallway just further down, and the vice-like grip on your shoulder stops you walking and says, "Young boy, you're spreading a lot of rumors about what that cat is doing. I have no such interest, but it is not polite conversation. That can be forgiven for someone as young as yourself. But I would encourage you to stop as soon as possible if you do not wish to be met with any kind of punishment. Do I make myself clear?"
I'm going to look him straight in the eyes and go, "Understood every word you said."
Fantastic. Well, then enjoy tonight's festivity. Let us...
I sure
Well,
hope you don't get lost.
That is my hope as well. Maybe you should go and find your mask. It is not in keeping with the evening's attire.
Certainly, and I will find it as soon as you find your manners, and I'm just going to skip off.
You skip away from Jared,
Yes, I'm going to skip away from him, yes.
who is just watching
Opportunity attack.
you. You do not see, but I believe, based on the direction, you probably encounter a tall individual that you know must be Halite, as Halite can definitely see Jared. Through the mask has a murder in their eyes.
That's fine. If anybody remembers, my entire statement was that I will make sure that Dewey does not get looked at this entire evening.
Mm-hmm.
And now I am very much the target of this man's ire.
Speaking of Dewey, what's Dewey doing?
Gulp. Well, I'm outside, so
Sit on this top.
I have a little peek at that. Well, provided I could get there. I don't know how thick the flowers and whatnot are around there, but I like if I could have a quick of a bit of a nose what's through the window over here.
You can see looking through the window. It's not particularly frosted glass. It's nice and clear. There is a long corridor. You can see that there's a door there. You can get a little hint that the corridor continues almost like a fork down there. But looking through the windows, you can see that long corridor seeming to lead into further rooms and things like that. Which you know that one of these rooms, these are the rooms that seem to be the honoured guests here.
Very nervous about a thing that I want to do, but now, how many people are outside? Is it still just the two that are to the south of me having a chat, or are there anybody else milling around?
There's nobody else. They seem to be slowly making their way around a corner into an area that people can't see. And it's not long before they are.
Bow chicka wow wow.
And in that case, I'd like to take a seat, because I've got a drink with me, and just kind of look like I am enjoying the grounds, like a little beautiful mansion, and then I'd like to, when I'm sure that I'm not being watched, cast a spell.
Okay. What are you going to cast?
Ruin everything. Essentially, the one that we spoke
Sakes.
about that I still haven't put into any kind of like actually written form. Essentially, I want to go spying with a couple of my birds.
Okay. I think we'll do this and then we'll go on to a break. So let me know.
Since I dramatically reveal a magic user and the guards get called. Oh god.
You see the flock begin to perch on all the chairs around you on the summoning of the spell. Currently, nobody's around, but there is a flock of birds in front of you, and you pick the ones that are going to lead and the eyes that you can see through.
Be like, and I'm just like, gotta find some of the rooms. I want to know what's where, and then essentially get them up and go and be like, oh yeah, be birds, guys, be cool, and then just sort of set about as they fly off, and then just set about like before I actually warg into them, I'd kind of like move about a bit, maybe go up to the pond. Go up to the pond because that's nice, and then sit down and look at the pond in a way that is there. I think so. My back is to most people, and then like, and then try and get into their eyes to see if I can check out what the upstairs rooms are like.
Okay. So, yes, this happens. You have your birds peer through all windowed rooms. So this is what you see immediately. You see a blue room. Well, first of all, you see a lavatory. Then you see a room laced in blue. You see a room laced in purple. You have them fly high and reveal the central courtyard.
There's a courtyard,
which is here.
I'm so sorry at how difficult. Oh bloody hell!
birds land in odd places, and I'm going to make checks to see if people notice that birds are landing strangely. Everything that has a window that birds can look through. Okay, you see all of that. I think reasonably you see all of this corridor. You are fully scouting this place. All of that definitely. All of this is outside, so yes, you definitely would see all of that. That does not have any windows, however, so you see that. That is a porch, so you see that. Huge revelation of everything I can show you on the map here. There's a garden outside here with a well and a staircase that seems to have a guard at the bottom of it. Upstairs, if you guys want to scroll down.
Oh, wow. Oh, God, this map is huge.
What has a window? You can see that area there. You can see this area here. You can see all of these bedrooms on the right-hand side. That lab is on the lower ground floor. Anything red is obviously above you.
Shit, that's the upper floor. Oh, God. Oh my God, yeah, you can see that. Fuck, okay. Through a window, you gain a brief glance of what looks like a room decorated in the center with a map of Osasris with a few pieces on it and a desk. You see this room here, which seems well decorated. You see this room here through a window. That's actually no, that would be the floor upstairs, the most identical, because the lavatories drop from one to the other kind of thing with toiletries. Those rooms have no windows apart from this window right here, so you do actually see all of that. Let me see, all this is still underneath. For anybody who's listening with audio, with all of these birds flying around, Dewey has to sort of switch between glances as he gets like a ping from each of them saying, "This is cool. This is cool. This is cool. This is cool." Yeah,
this is
I think because it's like
trees,
the Find Familiar spell. I wouldn't be doing it the whole time. I would be switching back in to make sure that people are like, "Are you okay?" As some guys just there going.
You know, you're very intently staring towards a pond, pondering life, pond. As though like you might have just been broken up with and had to take that news really hard. But
I mean,
there
according to Zeke, you had a very awesome kiss.
There's a flurry of birds all around you. This porch area here is not got a second floor, so you just see this sort of as it is. But is there a balcony there? It's different, so I guess that's a balcony. Yeah, so you can see a balcony there.
Ooh, fancy.
And you know what this middle room is because it's the same. It's like a big stairwell area. And you know what that garden area is because it's the same as well. Some of these are the same on both floors, if that makes sense, because it's there's no second floor. There's a roof to it. But this is not without issue because you are sending a swarm of birds all over this house looking through windows. I'm going to roll for guards that may or may not see this. And as I'm doing that, we're going to go on a break. And we're going to come back as the party rejoin the masquerade as a swarm of rooks, ravens, and pigeons surround the house, get a really good view of where everything might be. But something strange has certainly happened there.
Could you?
Okay.
Could? Okay. Never mind.
Sorry, guys.
Amazing.
It's gonna be Dewey.
It's
Cool.
Dewey.
See you in a bit.
See you in a
Bye.
bit. Bye.